Hello everyone, in this video I will be going over my financial milestones and goals that I will be tracking. Okay, so I have this whole sheet here that I will be sharing with you, all of my money milestones, my goal of when I want to achieve them or when I did achieve them, and basically how I will be getting there. I'm somebody who really thrives off of tracking my finances. I think money is fun, and definitely having a visual or a way to track my money has made it even more enjoyable for me. And honestly, I'm a bit of like a spreadsheet nerd and just like a financial nerd at this. Like, I'm obsessed with my finances. It's almost a problem. I thought of this idea a few weeks ago, and I was looking up other people who have done this, like trying to find some milestones that are common. And so I couldn't really find it. I don't know, maybe I wasn't looking in the right places, but I was looking on YouTube and Google, of course. And so I couldn't find anything. I decided to write down a few of my own milestones that I would like to start keeping track of. Now, I will say, I am definitely gonna be turning these into either a Google spreadsheet or some sort of manual tracker for myself. And when I actually do that, I will let you know. If I create a spreadsheet, which I probably will, then I will put it public for you all to use as well for free. But for now, I just have it on this sheet of paper, and this is kind of what I'm working with, and then I will go from there. The other thing I want to mention is that this is just kind of for fun. The numbers that I have on here are, for me personally, these are the numbers that I want to go after. These are the numbers I would like to track. You'll see things from my debt to emergency funds to how much I've invested, my net worth, how much I make, things like that. And then I have a goal of when I would like to achieve them. And some of these may seem unrealistic or, you know, impossible, but that's fine. I really just have fun with this, and it's nothing that is dead set in stone. So I just want to clarify that. I know that some of this may not make sense right now, but it's just a number that I am going after. The final thing I would like to say is that this is not financial advice, and this is for me, myself, so you can obviously get ideas for financial milestones that you can track yourself, but by no means does this mean you need to reach these numbers, like $1 million net worth or whatever it is that I show on here does not mean that you need to go after it. And I know, yeah, I don't want anybody to feel bad by seeing my numbers or like when I can achieve these things or when I expect to achieve these things. So just disclaimer on that end. Thinking of these was really, really fun for me. If I missed anything, please comment down below. Even creating just this little sheet here was really fun. So I definitely recommend you try it out if you're somebody who likes to color in charts like I do or make multiple spreadsheets. So let's go ahead and get into my money milestones. Okay, everything is really tiny, so hopefully you'll be able to read it, but I will be talking through everything as I go through it. I do have a lot here. It's basically a full page, so I couldn't really make it much bigger. But basically what I have across the top here, this is the money milestone, so that is what my goal that I'm going after. And then this is the goal date, like either when I did achieve it, because I did put some things on this list that I have already achieved, so you could kind of see when it was that I achieved those, and just so for myself as well, so I can see when I did that, and then the goal of when I want to achieve the goals I have not reached yet. This little section here is a checkbox. I'll be putting checks once I accomplish those things. And then here I have how I will achieve that, or notes. So not everything has how I will achieve it, because I honestly don't know. You know, with money, it varies quite a lot. Like when it comes to investments, of course, it depends on whether we're in a bull or bear market. It depends on the return. It depends on, you know, anything could happen that year. Maybe I need to use some of my emergency fund, etc. So some of this is completely wrong. It's probably wrong. You can't plan for everything 100%. This is, again, to reiterate, just for fun. It's kind of organized. It starts with debt. So the first thing is becoming credit card debt free. Now, I actually achieved this a couple of times during my debt-free journey. So I was initially credit card debt-free in March of 2019, but then I know later in that year I did a balance transfer, so it put me into credit card debt again with 0% interest. So then I became credit card debt-free in April of 2020. So I did already achieve that goal a couple of times, but I don't see myself going into credit card debt again, despite using my credit cards all the time for points. Next is becoming car debt free, which I also achieved. And if you've been watching me for a little bit, then you know that I actually achieved that goal in February of 2021. I paid that off, and I think my balance started at, I don't know, my car was a lease initially, and then I purchased the car, and then I refinanced. It was like probably $20,000. I have a video that gives a breakdown of my car, actually, so I will link that down below. It makes more sense. Next is to be student loan debt free. That's what SL is. My goal, my big impossible goal that you guys know I set earlier this year, or last year, is to pay off all of my debt by December 2021, so like in 5 months. If I want to do that, I would need to be putting close to $6,000 a month toward my student loan debt. Clearly, I don't even make this, you know, this isn't even from my full-time job. That's not, clearly I'm not on track to do that, but just so you can see the numbers I'm working with. My initial goal when I first started my debt-free journey back in 2018 was to pay off all my debt by April 2022. And even with that, I still would need to put over $3,200 toward my debt each month. Maybe this is possible. As of right now, I'm definitely not doing this, but if I could increase my income or somehow really shift my spending, then maybe. But this is still my goal. If I can do it by December 2021, obviously that would be amazing, but my initial goal was 2022. I'm still gonna go after that. Next is 50% of my debt paid off, which I did achieve in, it was like November, December of 2020, so that gets a check mark. I started with over $82,000 of debt, so by November, December 2020, I got down to like $41,000, $40,000, so that was 50%. Of course, if you wanted to, you could track when you reach like 10% of your debt paid off and 25%, etc. But I just did 50 since that's where I got to. In regards to my debt, one thing I realized I forgot to add here was just being completely debt-free, but that would basically go hand in hand with my student loan debt, being student loan debt-free, because that is my final debt. So same thing applies to that, either by December 2021 or April 2022. Next has to do with savings. So $1,000 saved for my emergency fund. I've done this several times and then it got depleted. So I don't know exactly when I achieved this, but as of right now, I do have over $1,000 saved for my emergency fund. I would say I first reached this maybe in 2019, and then I know it got depleted in February of 2020. And then I got it back up. So yeah, I don't know. I've reached this a couple of times and then got back down below it. But I am there now. Next is a $3,000 emergency fund / 1 month emergency fund. And I can probably do this by next month, August 2021. I am filming this toward the end of July. And I have been putting $667 a month toward my emergency fund so that I can reach $6,000 in there by December 2021. I did have $3,000 saved a couple of months ago, but as you all know, I did pull from that, so I will get it back up August 2021. Continuing with my emergency fund, next would be $9,000 saved or 3-month emergency fund, and I would like to hit that by December 2022. I honestly don't really feel a need to rush $9,000 saved. I think having $6,000 is pretty solid. That would be, you know, about 2 months worth of an emergency fund for me. So if I want to achieve this goal, I would need to save $250 every month starting in January 2022. Following that would be $18,000 saved for my emergency fund or 6 months worth. And I would like to achieve that about 1.5 years after reaching the 3-month. And that would be July 2024. I can definitely calculate this out, like what I would need to save each month, but I don't really want to do that, because if I need to pull from my emergency fund and let's say it goes below 9,000 or whatever the case may be, it's just, that's really far out. Next is $27,000 saved or 9-month emergency fund, and I would like to reach that 1 year after in July of 2025. Then we have $36,000 saved or 1 year emergency fund, aka FU money. That's not really a friendly term, but basically what that means is you're not obligated to stay at your job because you are in a good financial position. Like if you have a year's worth saved up, then you could leave your job if you absolutely hated it, or, you know, like you would be okay. So I would like to achieve that by July 2026. Obviously from these numbers, you can see that my monthly expenses are about $3,000 a month. I would say that's like bare bones. I can, you know, I could probably get it even lower than that. With what I spend right now, it's like $3,500 a month, but if I really cut back, it would be $3,000 or less. Now, still on savings, I would like to have $20,000 cash for a car. I plan on driving my car until I absolutely need a new one. And so I would like to have $20,000 saved by 2027, so 6 years from now. And this would mean I need to save about $275 a month after I pay off my debt. So assuming I pay off all of my debt by April 2022, that's where this number comes in, which is pretty reasonable. So 6 years of savings would get me that. And going along with that, I would like to buy a car in cash. Like I said, I would just like to drive my car until I absolutely need another one. So I'm not sure when this would be. It may not align with 2027 because I think I have a Toyota Camry. It's a 2015. It probably will last longer than that. I would like to save $60,000 cash for a house, maybe by 2026. I don't know. I know that this is far away, 5 years from now or so, but I don't know. There's so many factors that go into my finances as well because I am in a relationship. We have been in a long-term relationship, and eventually I will live with him and he may purchase a house. So I would just move in with him and pay like rent, I suppose. Like we wouldn't put anything together unless we were married. So if that's the case, I could probably save this a little bit faster. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Yeah, this all is very variable, just depending on my living situation too. But again, the same thing here. I would need to save about $1,000 a month after I become debt-free in April 2022. I would like to explain that I want $60,000 saved for a home because this is 20% of like a $300,000 house, which I know is pretty high. But I just want to buy a house correctly. I'm actually going to film a video as to why I am not going to be purchasing a home anytime soon, more than likely. I have a whole list of reasons why, so I want to talk about that just to make other people feel okay with not having a home yet in your late 20s, early 30s. The other thing about it is even if I don't put 20% down, I would like to go into a home and be able to purchase things that I actually, like to make my home a home, you know, get the right furniture that I want, make it what I want it to be, fix things up if necessary, and have the money for that. So that's why I have that $60K. And then of course, going along with that is I do want to buy a house one day. That being said, I would like it to be a home for me to live in. But then again, I maybe would consider buying rental property. I'm not sure yet. It's in the air. But same year, 2026. Next, we're going into investing. So $1,000 invested. I achieved this quite a while ago, back in, I think it was like 2015 or 2016. So this does get a checkbox. I invested in my Roth IRA when I was pretty young, and I know I put in like $1,400. It actually got me like a huge tax break at the time because I was low income. So I achieved that a while ago, but since that time, I barely invested. So I didn't hit 5,000 invested until December of 2020. This was all on my Roth IRA, and that is when I hit that. So that one does get a checkbox. But then the next milestone, which is $10,000 invested, I haven't achieved yet, but I think I'll achieve by September 2021, possibly even in August, depending on the market. But with this, it would just be my usual investing pattern, which is $150 a month to my Roth IRA as of right now, and then any M1 referrals that I get. So you guys know that I always share my M1 referrals. If you're interested in M1 Finance, right now they're offering $50 if you invest $100. And if you want to help me out with reaching this goal faster, then feel free to use my link. It's always down below. But yeah, with this, I do expect to get a little bit more within that time. I should get there. Next milestone would be $25,000 invested, which I would like to achieve by December 2022. This is one of those that I absolutely have no clue, but if all goes to plan, I would have to invest about $1,800 a month after I'm debt-free, after April 2022. This like I said, is heavily dependent on the market and just life in general. Next is 50K invested. By July of 2024, I would like to achieve that, so about a year and a half after, to double what I have invested. I know that once you have more invested, then the more it will grow. So obviously I would be relying on that quite a bit, but 25,000, 50,000 invested honestly isn't even that much. So I don't expect it to grow crazy. So I don't really know how I'll achieve that yet. That's another one that's just too far away, and I'll figure it out as time goes. Then 100K invested, that's like the number. I know that once I hit, I'll talk about this later, but basically 100K is the hardest part to get to. Having 100K invested is really difficult because you have to save a lot of money to get to this point, but once you get there, it will start growing on its own really rapidly. So I would like to get there about a year after July 2025. That would be amazing. Then similar to that, I do have some milestones related to my net worth. And the first major one is reaching a net worth of $0. I didn't mean to put 0K. This should just be $0 net worth. And I think I can achieve that this year by December 2021, hopefully sooner, maybe November. As far as how to, really nothing is going to change. It's just a matter of saving my money for my student loans or paying off the debt if I need to, and then investing in my Roth, getting M1 referrals, etc. Then similar pattern to before, I would like a 10K net worth after that, and I think I can achieve that fairly quickly, especially if I am getting closer to paying off my debt. March 2022 is when I would expect or hope to hit that. Then 25,000 net worth. I think by July 2022, a few months later, I could maybe do that. Keep in mind that net worth is everything. I'm also not including my car. I don't like to count my car as part of my net worth, the value of it, because for example, right now, that would make my net worth positive, and I just don't think that's very accurate. It's not an asset to me, because yeah, I could sell that if I absolutely needed to, but I'm not going to. There's no reason for me to do that. I need my car. It's also more of a liability because I still have to pay for, upkeep of it, maintenance, gas, etc. So I don't count that. I probably wouldn't count my house as part of my net worth, because unless it was like a rental property or, something that I was flipping. But just to clarify, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. But anyways, 25K net worth, July 2022, $50,000 net worth later that year, so doubling in like 6 months, maybe December 2022. We're going big here. Reaching a higher net worth is easier than a total amount invested, so it may be possible. Now, I did one of my goals several years ago. When I was a teenager, I was like, I want to be a millionaire by 30. I quickly realized that I was not going to achieve that, and that's okay. But then I set the goal of hitting at least a net worth of 100,000 by the age of 30. So by July 2023, which is when I turn 30, I would like to have a net worth of at least $100,000, but hopefully more. And so that's between everything. So savings, investments, cash, yeah. And continuing this pattern, 250K net worth by 2026. Just gotta continue investing and saving, mostly investing. 500K net worth by 2030, so that's a 250K jump between 4 years, which I think is reasonable because your money kind of just starts to work for you at that point. Of course, I would like to continue investing throughout all of this, so I think that's reasonable. And then a 1 million net worth by 40 years old or 2033. So you can see going from, if I have 100K net worth in 2023, I would like a $1 million net worth within about 10 years, from 30 to 40. And that would be, that's like a big thing. That's a big goal of mine. And I do think that's possible with how things are going right now. I did put on here that to max out my Roth IRA, this would be like a first time type of thing, because I've never done that. And I would like to do this in 2022. This would probably be from my side hustles or getting a different job, starting a new job. But yeah, I would like to max this out for the first time in 2022 because I never have. And then same with maxing out my 401k. My current job does not offer a 401k, so I have no clue. This would mean I need to, move to a different position in my company or get a different job. So I'm not sure, but one day I would like to max that out and then keep that up. Then moving on to income, I would like to make at least $100,000 in a year, like as a income, a salary, and I would like to do that in 2023. So a couple of years from now, I think I definitely could do this between having a full-time job and my side hustles. I do expect this channel to grow, my other channel to grow, financial coaching, etc. So it's a matter of just increasing my income from everything. Next milestone is earning $100 in a month online. I did achieve this, I think sometime in 2018. I didn't really keep track of what I was earning then too well, but I think it was 2018. So that gets a check. And then also earn at least $500 in a month online. I achieved that for the first time in May 2019, so that gets a check. Then you can see that the difference between from getting from 500 up to 1,000, it took me a couple of years of consistency online. So earning 1,000 in a month online, I didn't achieve that until January of 2021, and that was with all of you. It came a lot from this channel, so that gets a check mark. Next would be earning $2,000 in a month online. I would like to achieve that this year, so that's why I wrote by December 2021, so it can be any month from now till then. That would be ideal. I have gotten close. I think what I do, 1,500, 1,700? I don't know. I've gotten close, but not quite to the 2,000 mark, and I hope I can do that this year. Continuing on, earn 5,000 in a month online sometime next year in 2022. And then 10K in a month online sometime the year after in 2023. So like I said, I do expect this channel to continue to grow. I will keep this up. And okay, then the big goals. Coast Fire is one of the first things. And basically, if you don't know what Coast Fire is, well, first let me say what FIRE is. So FIRE is financial independence, retire early. This is, financial independence is a huge thing for me. That's definitely what I want to go after. I want to have control of my time and my life. Coast Fire is when you have a certain amount invested that you wouldn't need to put another penny in, and your money would grow on its own, that by the age of 65, you would have enough to retire with. So I would say, if in 2027, this is about when I would have, let's see, I have it up here. This is kind of going in line with if I have like a 250K net worth in 2026, I could probably have 300, 350 by 2027. Some things that, I didn't put 250K invested or 500K invested. Of course, I would like to get to that as well, but you get the idea. But that kind of goes in line with the Coast Fire, and I think that's reasonable with how I have everything laid out. And then I would like to achieve full fire, which is the last thing on my list here. And that is just basically, I don't need to work anymore whatsoever to live. I can just live off of my investments. Then that would be 2038 or by the age of 45. I do have a video on the FIRE movement, and I can link that down below. I do think everybody should at least learn about it and just educate themselves on financial independence. This does not mean that you're, just laying around on your couch, eating a bunch of food and just doing absolutely nothing with your life. FIRE is an awesome, awesome thing, and it gives you a lot of control of your life, and that's really what I want. So, more so I want the financial independence portion of this, and I don't want to have to work a traditional job, but I would probably make money on the side from whatever is happening in 2038. But as you can see, this is a lot, and this isn't even everything, because like I said, it doesn't include the 250K invested, etc. So there is so much more that I could probably add to this. There's probably a lot more that you could add to your own list if you wanted to. I think this is super, super fun and worth trying if you are motivated by numbers and goals and just having something to track. Definitely try it out. I will eventually make a spreadsheet, like I said, and put this all together. Maybe I'll have it ready by the time this video is up, but if so, it will be linked down below. If you have any questions, or if there's anything you think I should add to this, then please let me know, because then I will just sneak it in there. Otherwise, give me your thoughts, or if you film your own video of this or create your own, let me know and comment down below. That is it for my milestones. I know this video was super long, so I'll just go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.